So we'll call our community meeting to order for April 1st, 2024. So earlier today, the board passed a resolution for a special meeting of the association. We are once again making an attempt to amend our declaration. As of right now, you are able to vote on 5 proposed amendments to our declaration. And we have a 45-day window that we're able to do that within. And we will then hold a meeting and be back here on May 16th to not only talk about pressure washing, but also to count the votes and to see how we did. We did try this late last year and we fell short. We fell short mainly because of homeowners not participating. The percentages were good for the items that we had on the ballot, but we didn't get enough votes per Pennsylvania state law in order to adopt any of the amendments. What we'll be talking about today, and we will go through the different changes that we're proposing. The thing that I want to stress is voting is open now. In fact, today, if you haven't gotten the mail already, you'll see an envelope in your mailboxes stamped from MRH Enterprise, says ballot enclosed on it in big red letters. It contains a paper ballot that you can use to cast your votes. There's also the option to vote online via the Sync platform. So you have 2 options. You can vote on paper. In that packet, you have received a ballot and a proxy is on the back. You have to fill out both if you're voting by paper. If you're voting online, you just need to basically go through the process, and the online platform will direct you through the voting process. Voting starts today. The last day to vote will be at the May 16th special meeting. Your options are to vote via the paper ballot and send it into MRH, or vote online. Yes, sorry. Thank you. Or you can vote in person on May 16th. There will be ballots available. So we'll hop down to the next one, requirements for adoption of a proposed amendment. So the state doesn't make it easy on us, as we've all come to learn so far. In order for us to make any change and to adopt any of these amendments, we need to have 67% of our homeowners to say yes. So in our community of 363 homes, in order to adopt any one of these at all, we need to have 243 people say yes. So last time, we only had 220 homes actually vote. And we need 243 yes votes, not people to vote, but yes votes agreeing to adopt any one of these. So it's a high bar to clear, but in order to change the declaration and Article 5 that people may love, they may hate, this is how we have to do it. This is our option. Otherwise, MRH has an obligation to enforce the declaration and the rules contained within as they are written. And K, unfortunately, has saddled us with some real doozies. They wrote our documents. We inherited them from them. And unfortunately, they have taken the tactic of basically writing the same bylaws and declaration for every community that they bring into existence. And they, some things make sense, some things don't. What we did was we worked with the amendment committee and we picked out 5 things that we think are, we've been calling them low-hanging fruit. We think that they're easy things that most people will be in favor of changing. We don't believe that they are controversial. And And ultimately, it's things that will enhance or maintain existing home values in the community, or it allows for more freedom of choice for us as homeowners as far as personalizing and doing different things around your property. Um, the in the email that went out and on the back table there, if you didn't pick them up as you came in, there is a sheet that is the notice of the special meeting of the association, has some highlights on the front. And this shows all of the 5 proposed amendments that we're currently voting on. And we'll just go through them here quickly. So what we did was, if you're looking at the document, you'll have, if you turn to page 2, you'll see first the current rule, the current Article 5, Section 1 of the Declaration. Then underneath that, you'll see the proposed language that we want to adopt. We tried to make it as easy as we could for everybody to recognize where the changes are occurring. So in the old, or in the, not in the old, but in the current language, you will see green highlighted text that indicates what we're trying to change. And then in the yellow highlighted text, that is what we're seeking to change it to. You should still make it a point to read this document to get the full overall picture. Sometimes highlighting it exactly was a little bit tricky depending on how it was worded in the original or worded in the new. So we do advise you that you take a look at the entire document, but we did want to make that pretty evident up front that, you know, this is what we're changing and this is what we're changing it to, so that it makes it a little bit easier to pinpoint exactly where those changes are being made. So if we go with these one by one, the first one again is a change to Article 5, Section 1. This involves sheds, and we are trying to adopt a change where that instead of making it optional that they are constructed of the same materials that will be constructed of the same or like materials as the house on the property. Basically, that's what we already have for the most part. 99% of the sheds in the community already, they match. They have the same color siding. They have the same color shutters. They complement the colors. That's really what we're looking to do. Again, from a property value standpoint, and we are trying to eliminate metal sheds and plastic sheds in the community.
So I'm Ed Hoffman. I'm the association attorney. I think the intent behind this provision would be if it's a shed that has a foundation or some sort of footing required by the municipality, and it's a framed shed. And if as Brian stated, if it has a vinyl siding exterior surface put over the plywood, I think that's acceptable. But I think the impetus here is if it's a $800 shed from Home Depot, Lowe's, or Costco that's literally just plastic. Lifetime is one of the brands, and there are other brands you can get for cheap. Those literally blow over when there is a storm. Those are plastic sheds. I think that's the analysis here. But I think a vinyl sided shed that matches the exterior surface of the unit or the home is presumably acceptable, correct?
Yes.
Okay, they're saying yes. So does that answer the question? All right, you're welcome.
Moving on, at the bottom of page 2, Article 5, Section 4. So as it stands currently, you can have a full view storm door in our community. However, and this is the issue, they can only be beige or almond. They cannot be any other color. And I go around this community and I see houses with dark green shutters and they have screen doors that match. I see houses that have black shutters and the I don't want to and the screen door matches and they look great. I don't know of any screen door that I've seen in this community that is done in a way that doesn't look good. But most of the screen doors in this community are not beige or almond. So technically, if you have one that isn't beige or almond, you're in violation, and if this needs to be enforced, MRH would have to have you either basically paint it, remove it, and we don't want to do that. We want to give homeowners more freedom, more choice to customize their homes as they see fit. So we're proposing that we change it. We're keeping that they are only full view storm doors. That's not changing, even though it's highlighted. But they would have to be in a color that closely matches the color scheme of the unit. So you're not going to have a fluorescent orange door next to you. So we're not opening up that can of worms, but you can have, for us, a brown door that matches our brown shutters, or the green door that matches the green shutters, or something that complements the existing color scheme of the home and doesn't restrict the homeowner to two very odd color choices that may not make sense for the color palette on your home. Any questions? No. Well, maybe I'm not understanding correctly, but so right now you have two color choices, beige or almond. We're opening that up so that you could have a green door, a brown door, a black door, a red door, a door as, yeah. So I have beige siding and brown shutters on my townhome. I would violate myself if I put a fluorescent pink storm door on my house. So it allows for more freedom, but also allows for us to maintain the aesthetics of the community as well. Anybody else? Okay. Flipping over to page 3 at the top, Article 5, Section 7. Believe it or not, you really can't change your house numbers on the house in your community. Those glorious, glorious plastic, beautiful numbers that you can't see at night that are not reflective. Um, yeah, my DoorDash goes across the street half the time. So you can't change the numbers that are provided by the declarant, which is K. So once again, we are trying to open this up. We are trying to give homeowners more freedom. If you go around this community, there are many, many, many houses that have removed those plastic numbers against the rules. And you know who you are out there. And have replaced them with some really beautiful looking new sets of numbers, some that are lit, some that are actually reflective that you can actually see. And for the most part, they look really good in the community. If we don't pass this, though, you would have to put the plastic gray numbers back up on your house because that's what the rule currently states. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to, again, allow for more freedom and open this up so that you have choice and that you can replace the house numbers, and that basically they just need to be a finish font and size that complements the existing color schemes to your house. Similar to what we're doing with screen doors, we want you to have the ability to customize your homes and to make the choices that are appropriate for you. But again, I'll go back to my previous example because I'm looking at your socks and your shoes there. No fluorescent pink house numbers because they wouldn't match your house. Moving further down the page, Article 14, section, or Article 5, Section 14. I'm going to jump around this on the top here. So currently, your grass cannot be mowed at a length greater than 4 inches. So don't go away for the weekend. Ryan's going to get you. I mow my grass at 4 inches, by the way. That's what I'm supposed to do. The biggie in this one that I really want to put emphasis on is that in this community, in your landscaping beds, you can only have dark brown mulch, no rock, no black mulch, no red mulch, no straw, no pine needles, no anything, and no dirt. Yeah, No dirt, I guess. We'll come back to that one. Don't worry. Hockey nets are not permitted, and all sports equipment needs to be put away. And we made a change to that. I'll kind of talk about that a little bit. So we are again trying to give everybody a little bit of a break here. We want to move 4 inches to 6 inches so that you can go away for the weekend and not have to worry about Ryan coming through on a Monday and getting you. No, he doesn't have a tape measure. Don't worry. The township is 12. Yeah.
I was going to say township's fine. We're not going to go with 12.
So it gives people a little bit of leeway, still makes you responsible, obviously, for maintaining your lawn. We're not going to have people that have, 10-inch hay fields out there that need to be baled. So protects the looks of the community, but gives people a little bit more time. Maybe it's rainy that week. You didn't get out there to mow it. The kids had soccer practice. You worked late one night, whatever. Give you guys a little bit of breathing room. Again, coming back to the biggie about the landscaping beds, we are expanding this greatly, seeing as how restrictive it is currently. And we would like to see that you maintain your landscaping, which is already contained within in our declaration. But we want to change it to earth tone landscaping materials are permitted in landscape beds. So this would allow for red mulch. This would allow for black mulch. This would allow for stone of different hues and colors and sizes. If you go throughout this community, there are some green thumbs in this community. There are some people that have some gorgeous landscaping and hardscaping that technically, as this is written, you can't have. And the last thing that we want to be doing is having Preet rip out his beautifully done landscaping because it doesn't have brown mulch. We just think that's crazy. And we'd like to once again allow homeowners more freedom to be able to do the landscaping as they see fit and correct the past sins that Kay has saddled us with. And then jumping down, we are going to allow for non-permanent portable hockey and soccer nets in backyards only that would need to be stored away when they're not in use. So we would be eliminating the prohibition on hockey nets. And we clarified you can play hockey in your backyard. And we clarified the language a little bit of the last item, just sort of making it a little bit more broad so that it's clear that recreational items must be stored away when not in use, just geared at, people, play outside, do whatever you want outside. Well, don't do whatever you want outside, but play outside, all you want, play with the kids, get everything out, but put everything away when you're done with it so that it's not visible to the rest of everybody in the community and people don't have to deal with, a bunch of junk behind their house or across the street in the neighbor's front yard or whatever. So you play your games and you put your stuff away. Any questions on that one? Okay. On to the last one. So our Article 5, Section 18, this deals with signs in the community. It is very restrictive. Basically, you can only have a sign in. So first of all, I should clarify that where it says unit there, unit is your property. So within the boundaries of your property, you cannot have anything besides a for sale or for rent sign. That's it. No yard signs, no anything else signs. And we would like to change that to make it a little bit more liberal and allow you the crazy ability to have one home security sign that would not exceed 1 square foot, so long as it's affixed to the ground and located near the proximity to the front entrance of the house. So we have a lot of people in this community. They've chose to put security systems onto their house, and ADT whatever other company out there that you're using usually gives you that little sign that you're supposed to stick in your landscaping by your front door to try and ward off the criminal before they get to your door and set the darn thing off so they don't have to deal with the call. And we want to make it allowable for you to be able to put that on your property, and not have Ryan have to go around and write you a warning to say that you have to remove your home security sign because technically under the rule that we have currently, you can't have anything except for a for sale or a for rent sign. Again, trying to give everybody a little bit more common sense in the community with these rules and a little bit more freedom with these rules. We have the declaration that we have, whether we like it or not, whether we want to cry or jump for joy. It is our reality. We all agreed, whether we read the documents or not, to live underneath it in addition to the ordinances that the township has. And we as a board would like this to be a first step in cleaning up Article 5 to something that is more sensical for our community and suits our community better than what we currently have in there. It's less restriction, simplify things, give people more freedom to choose how you want your home to look, whether it's house numbers or the screen door or any of those items that we just talked about, and just to start to fix what we viewed and what the amendment committee viewed as some of the more ridiculous, to put it lightly, items that were placed in our declaration.
So what you should all understand as unit owners is, absent these changes being adopted, and it takes 67% of the entire membership to do that pursuant to the statute. That means 67%, 2/3 supermajority of your whole community has to say yes to pass these amendments. Absent that occurring, and Brian made reference to this earlier, and he made Ryan the kind of the jackbooted thug of the endeavor here. But joking aside, the board and or association is going to be required to enforce the covenants as they stand. So if you don't like what you see currently, then you presumably should vote to change them to loosen up the I guess the draconian nature of some of the requirements that are present. And unless you get the votes, they're going to have to start enforcing it. And then what happens is owners will say, well, why are you enforcing this? It's ridiculous. Or I already have this out here. I already have a screen door that doesn't comply. Well, right. But because the documents provide for it, the association is going to have to enforce it. That being said, the option to vote to change it is here. And that's why the board's proposing this. And you have this informational meeting now, and then you'll have the vote occurring in May, right? May, what is it? May 16th. So that's kind of where you are. Not sugarcoating it here. I'm telling you exactly what's happening. That's really the reason why we're here today and why they're doing what they're doing more than anything else.
Yeah, so this right now is our opportunity to change our community for the better. We all have to play a part in that. Like I said before, we had 220 people that cast ballots last time. We need 243 people to say yes. So we really need every single homeowner, and we need 363 votes. Vote yes, vote no, but vote. And moreover, the people who are online probably right now and the people who are in this room probably voted last time. You're probably going to vote again this time. We need you to talk to your friends, to talk to your neighbors, to post on Facebook, to grab the guy walking the dog down the street and ask him if he voted or if she voted. And we need people to take an active part in our community and the future of our community, because like Ed said, we have two things. We have two roads that we can go down. We can go down the road where you can only have dark brown mulch and we have to send the thug after you, which nobody wants to do. Or we can vote for these changes and you can put nice red rock or brown rock or black mulch or red mulch or whatever you want. And then you just live your life and you maintain your landscaping and you're fine. And that's what we're trying to do here. We're just trying to improve the documents that we have and make things better in the community and make things make more sense for us all as homeowners. So it's not well, it's on us as a board. It's on MRH to execute, but it's on 363 homes to get out there and to cast a ballot and to talk to your neighbors. I know they're scary, but talk to your neighbors, please. Talk to your friends, send a text to somebody, and and try to ask them, to get out there and to make sure that um they are casting their ballots, because that's the only way that we have to change the declaration. That's it. So I can't stress that enough. So you're asking if there's a number of times that we can have the vote. So there is no limitation on that. And to just to be transparent, we as a board have already had that discussion of what happens if this fails. Not that it's going to, but if it were to fail, our intention is to do it again. And our intention, if that fails, is to do it again. And our intention, if that fails, is to do it again. Then we might. I mean, our intention as a board is we want to make this a great place to live, keep this a great place to live, however you want to say it.
Issue is, so people can hear online, the issue isn't necessarily if you can't have it or not. The issue is what documents currently provide for is what this is what I got back to before, is what the association is going to have to enforce. So if you don't like it, you should probably vote to change it. It's giving you actually more leeway. I'm not here to sell anything yes or no to you, but these amendments are all basically to allow you to have more flexibility in what you're doing to your own homes rather than what the developer, declarant K, provided to you in the original set of documents that were drafted and recorded with the county. So, and by the way, how this would all work, and maybe you don't know that, is the impetus of this is to have the owners vote 67% to change the declaration. Once that change would be made, then we would put together a recordable form submission to submit to the recorder of deeds office. That would then get recorded, and then that would apply to all your properties in the community. So then the current or the amended declaration would apply. And that's the whole exercise here, is to amend what you have, what the developer saddled you with, to allow you to do things that make a little more sense and, dare I say, common sense issues. And that's really where you're going to go with this.
Voting is open now. Packets arrived in your mailboxes today if you haven't already received them. Ballots and the voting packets are also available on the back table, and we can provide them to you. And we would like everybody in this room to help us talk to your neighbors, knock on their doors, try and help us get out the vote. If you'd like to be a formal part of that process, contact anyone on the board, contact Ryan. We can get you linked up with the amendment committee. They take a more formal, strategic approach at each week, going out and knocking on doors and trying to get after the people that we know haven't cast ballots yet, and encouraging them to vote no matter how that they choose to vote. And it would be our hope, because we're trying to get off on a strong foot, that everybody in this room and everybody on Zoom, if you're in the room, either go home and go and vote online, fill out a ballot when you get home and send it in, or go online and vote, because we're hoping that come tomorrow morning we've got 100 votes in the bag, and we're hopefully well on our way to achieving our dream here. But it's gonna, like, again, it's gonna take every single one of us that lives in this community. It's not a board problem. It's not a MRH problem. It's all of our problem. And Ed very eloquently described the predicament that it puts the board and MRH in should these things fail. We have to enforce them as written. We would like to not have to do that. So please get out and vote, post about it on Facebook, talk to your neighbors, grab the guy or gal walking the dog. And no matter how you vote, just please vote, because once again, we need 243 people to say yes on any one of these changes in order for us to legally adopt them. If we don't get that, we're right back where we started. So we have an amendment committee that we are working with on this more formal approach. So every Thursday at noon, MRH has an Excel sheet that they fill out, not how people voted or anything like that, but just did they vote? Did they not vote? And we're using that list to canvass the neighborhood, to knock on somebody, to knock on my door and just say, hey, this is going on. Are you aware of it? Do you have any questions? Can I help you? Are you gonna vote? Do you want to vote now? Do you need a ballot? Do you need to see the amendments? Then we are adjourned, and we will be back here May 16th at 6 o'clock for our special meeting. Please vote and talk to your neighbors, people. Thank you.